After 4.5 long years, it is finally over.
This woman has destroyed her marriage.
I would say I was more like a mentally unstable, controlling bitch.
She fails to understand that she drove her husband away.
Marriage rates in the United States from 1990 to 2020. Here's a beautiful little graph for all you nerds out there like myself that like to see this stuff. Look at this decline from the 90s.
This is why men aren't getting married. Subscribe.
Marriage rates in the United States from 1990 to 2020. Here's a beautiful little graph for all you nerds out there like myself that like to see this stuff. Look at this decline from the 90s just to 2020 alone. Look how that drops off right there. And you can even see there in about 2016, 2017, red pill content. And then you see a huge, bigger decline. And he says, self-explanatory why marriages are on the decline. Men are waking up and women are acting more entitled and less feminine. Thanks to TikTok and OnlyFools, it's easier than ever to see it. Do you agree with this? I think this is super duper interesting, but I know that men are waking up.
Basically, what that chart is saying is that only a foolish man would dare to marry any of these modern women today. You only have to look on TikTok or Instagram to find 100 reasons not to marry any of them. The expectation is unbelievably high. You would think they've lost their minds. You're working 40 hours a week, competing for a modern woman. Why do such a risky thing when you can get a passport? I mean, just look at that chart. It's only going downhill.
You got a passport, right?
I really don't think I would describe me personally as a shit parent, because I don't even know what a shit parent is. I would say I was more like a mentally unstable, controlling bitch back then. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of how I was. Thank God my children are mentally stable and they are able to forgive me for so many things because they realize I'm not the same person that I was when they were growing up. Now, I'm no longer mentally unstable, nor am I controlling. The bitch part? Sometimes.
So, as she just admitted, she was a mentally unstable, controlling bitch. I don't know any man who would want to partake in such a lifestyle like that with a woman. All of those traits just bring stress to a man's life. And because of that, her children probably went through hell. Now that we got an idea of how she was back then, let's look at her crying while explaining herself next.
After 4.5 long years, it is finally over. It's over. I am now a divorced woman. And I knew when this happened and when I got the final word, I knew I would have different emotions, and I tried preparing for them. But I don't know how you actually prepare for it, because what I feel like is like someone punched me in my stomach, in my gut, and just like took my air out of my body. Oh. And I'm not crying over the fact that we're no longer together. I'm crying over the fact that none of it should have happened like it happened. And there's this sadness inside of me that like it's going to somehow affect our grandchildren and generations to come. And I just hate that, I hate that. And God, I wish I hated him Oh my gosh, I wish I hated that man, but I don't hate him. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. I'm scared. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I'm going to leave my home that I've been in for 20 years and rebuild a life that wasn't supposed to be alone. It was supposed to be with him. But don't get confused. Do not get confused. My life is good and I am blessed. But it's still hard. Rebuilding your life at 51 years old. Trying to find a place to live. Probably relocating to a new city or a new state. It's a lot. But I'm going to do this. You just watch and see. I'm going to be better than ever. I've got this.
She has so many worries, which is fine. But why didn't she think about all of that before initiating the divorce? You probably feel sorry for this woman, but I'm going to tell you not to, as you will see why in the next clip.
Okay, if we are going to be completely honest, we knew. We knew pretty early on who they really were. They showed us. And I know this for a fact because people can't hide their true colors for a long time. I mean, I have to be completely honest with myself, which I don't enjoy doing, because then I have to see all my faults and all of the things that I did that led up to the end of my marriage, the breakup of relationships, and that's the hard part. But I'm going to do the hard part because I'm not going to continue this pattern. I've had this pattern my whole entire life, and I refuse to continue. So from now on, instead of talking so much about what happened or what was done, as I like to say, maybe to me, which makes me sound like a victim, and I'm not, I am going to focus on my role in things and what was broken inside of me that allowed the things to happen. I knew not to get married. Pretty long time ago, knew not to do this, but I did it anyway. Why? Fear? Yeah. What were my fears? Afraid of being alone. I was a single mom with 5 children. And here came this man that I thought was going to rescue me and save me. And he did, actually. He did. But the problem was, by allowing that to happen, I put my whole being into this man. And I was no longer myself anymore. So I have been spending the last few years trying to figure out who the hell I am. Why I do the things that I do. It's not fun. But gosh, when I see all of the good stuff that is coming from this, it is so worth it. So worth it. I'm much happier. Still have bad days. But my life is really, really good. And I'm single. And I'm alone, which was my fear. I didn't want to be alone. I hate really saying the word alone because I'm not. I have a great group of friends and family and my children. But as a woman without a partner, I'm alone. And I swore that would never happen to me. That was like the ultimate thing that, oh my gosh, if that happens, I have failed. I haven't failed. I'm fine. And so are you.
This man took this woman in with 5 kids, and in return, all he got was a big fat divorce to his face. This should honestly serve as a warning to you guys. Stop dating women with children. Stop trying to save them. Another thing is, this woman is 50 years old and still finding herself. Someone who's finding themselves is not ready for marriage or a relationship.
You know, I spend a lot of time by myself, and I'm not usually lonely, I enjoy my own company. But today's been different. The last couple of days have been different. And I just have to shake this off. I have to get through this. And I will. I always do. But I let my guard down. And I knew better. Won't make that mistake again. Lesson learned.
This is just the consequences of her actions. She's basically telling you my life is miserable and I am feeling lonely. They always show their happy side on the internet, but deep down inside they're dying. She knew exactly what she was doing when she made her decision to leave. There is no one she should blame but herself. Take care of yourself, guys. Eat your food as your medicine, or you will eat your medicine as your food. Subscribe.